Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome to Freebeat, where I post new music-related content every single day. So if that sounds good to you, hit that subscribe button, ring that notification bell. Let's get started. If you watch the channel a lot, then you'll know that I absolutely adore the PO-35 Speak. And one of my favorite features of the PO-35 Speak is that the drum kit is actually a single monophonic version of the PO-32 tonic, which of course is a kind of hardware player version of the Microtonic VST software. And just like on the PO-32, you can swap the sounds out of the PO-35 as well, so you can really load up whatever kind of drum sounds you want. The only thing is that it is monophonic. Now, I absolutely love the stock kit on the PO-35. In fact, I haven't switched it out yet. And one of my biggest wishes for this amazing drum kit would be to be able to play it polyphonically. So similar to yesterday's video, we are going to be using the Teenage Engineering OPZ to bring some polyphony to the stock PO-35 drum kit. Alright, sorry for the camera swap, but this time, unlike yesterday's video, I wanted to show my monitor. So while this camera just waits here for us to finish the video on the OPZ, I figured I would show you guys actually how to sample from the Speak into your computer. So I have the line out of the Speak running into my audio interface over there, which is the Zoom H5. Then that is plugged in via USB to my desktop, and I have the free software Audacity open. Just make sure that your microphone and your headphones are set, or your input and your output, and you should be able to record just fine. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to record each column separately, because typically how it works is these four are kicks, these four are snares, these four right here are your cymbals, and these four here are auxiliary. So how we're going to do that on the OPZ is we are going to actually fill them in. So the kicks are going to get sampled into the kick slot, snares into snare, cymbal into cymbal, and auxiliary into auxiliary. So each track is only going to have 4 sounds. So basically we're going to make 4 different samples, and each sample is going to contain a column going down. So I'm going to click record up here. Now it's recording. Now I'm going to do this. Hit spacebar to stop it. And I know you guys couldn't hear that, but you can see there are our 4 samples. And it's very important to let them all ring out when you record them. Otherwise, they'll kind of overlap on the OPZ. Now, as long as your samples are less than 12 seconds long in total, you'll be okay, because the OPZ only allows for 12 seconds of sample time per track. So I'm going to go ahead and export this as a wave, and I'll probably actually trim off the front end of it here, just like that. Now I'll export that as a wave, and then I'm going to do that for the remaining 3 columns, and then I'll catch up with you guys on the main camera. Alright, so here we are back at the OPZ. Let's go ahead and get started. So we're going to go to the bass drum track. I'm going to find an empty slot on here. Looks like number 7 is empty. So it's going to do this.
This is a default user sample. Enter sample mode to modify and record.
Alright, so there is our default message. That means that slot 7 is completely empty. So I have that file ready to go on my computer. So now, of course, we need to plug in the OPZ to our computer. And you'll want to verify that the OPZ is set as your speakers. That way the audio comes out of the computer into this USB port here and goes into the OPZ. So now we're going to enter sample mode by holding stop and pressing record. Then we're going to tap the play button to monitor. Just like last time, it's not getting any signal. So let's pull up our sample. Now we'll hit play to monitor. Let's play our sample. Alright, sounds good to me. So we're going to hit play to stop monitoring. Now we're going to hold record. I'm going to play the sample again. So now we have the sample on the OPZ. Record. I'm going to play the sample again. You can hear there that it actually got a little of my voice too before it switched over to our sample. Record. Play the sample. That's okay though, we are going to trim this all up. So you'll notice, I'm going to play the sample again. It's going to play the whole sample basically. So now we need to dial in the start and stop points, and we do that using the green knob to dial in the start point and the blue knob to dial in the stop point. So first we're going to select what we want to be on the first pad. I'm going to play the sample again. I'm going to play the sample again. So we want to get all the way to that bass drum click. Almost there. You'll almost want to go a little bit past it and then go back to get there. That sounds pretty good. Now we're going to dial in our stop point. You can see here there's a green light and a blue light. So all of the track buttons right now are aligning with our samples, if that makes sense. These represent the length of the entire sample. So we can see that the blue light is right there. That means that the sample is going to end pretty quickly after we hear that initial hit. So perfect. So now we need to get our second note. So it's that laser sounding one. Almost there. There we go. Play the sample. Now let's get our third one. We know it's going to be right down here because that's where we ended the last one. Sounds pretty good. And you can always test and make sure by playing the other ones. Awesome. Now there's just one more. So we're going to go way to the end. There it is. Dial that in. That sounds like we got all those pretty close. And just like yesterday, if you do have the phone app handy, you can actually see the waveform, and it makes the guessing a lot, well, it eliminates the guessing because you can see the waveform. So it makes it a lot easier. But I'm pretty happy with that. And remember, to exit sample mode, just hit stop. And once we get working with the samples kind of in a groove form, we might need to go back into sample mode and adjust the gain. But for now, it should be okay. So I'm going to go ahead and do that for the rest of the snare drum samples, the cymbal samples, and the auxiliary samples, and then I'll catch up with you guys. Alrighty, so I am all done. We now have all of the sounds from the PO-35 stock drum kit into the OPZ. So let's go ahead and play something with this. That sounds pretty cool. Let's get a handle on the tempo and play it. Quantize it. Drop the click out of there. Just moving through the 4 kick drum samples. Let's go to the snare. Trying to think of something good to play. That's pretty good. Didn't mean to double tap at the end there. Quantize it. Oh yeah. Some hi-hat. Quantize that. There we go. And some auxiliary. Layer the clap. There we go. Quantize it. Let's reverse the clap. There we go. Oh yeah. Now we're going. Just messing with all sorts of parameters now. Whoa. There we go. Get some step components going. All right, well, there we go. A little jam with it. Just goes to show you how much fun you can have with some simple sounds. You know, a lot of those sounds are not too different than the stock built-in sounds presets on the OPZ in terms of the percussion track. But I've just been wanting to play with a full fleshed out version of the PO-35 Speaks drum kit for a while. So I'm really glad that the OPZ gave me the opportunity, and I'm probably going to keep all those sounds in slot 7 of each of their respective tracks, probably for a while, because that was pretty fun. Maybe next I'll do a track with slot 7 from the sounds from the PO-35, and then maybe we'll sneak in the bass from the Model D, and maybe those pads as well. Maybe we'll put another screaming lead on there or something. I don't know. The next song we do on the OPZ, I think, is going to be all samples. So I'm really excited for that. If you're excited for that, and if you enjoyed this video, go ahead and leave a like on it. If not, you can leave a dislike. That's okay too. Doesn't hurt my feelings. Just makes me try that much harder next time. Either way, be sure to hit that subscribe button, ring that notification bell. I do have new videos coming out every single day. Hitting that bell means you're not going to miss another one. Thank you so much for being here. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye.